Let's see if Chris Sims is territorial. Pro Football Talk Live co-host and, of course, Football Night in America analyst, two-sport star in high school. How would LeBron do as an NFL player? If I put him at tight end, Chris.
I have a hard time thinking he wouldn't be a really good tight end. I mean, if that's what he decided to put all his interest in and go that route, yeah, I would think he'd be able to pull that off. You know, the one thing that I always come to with guys like that, you know, even though, hey, Gronk, right? He's 6'6.5", 6'7". LeBron's 6'8" plus.
Yeah.
The issue those guys fall into, Dan, is their knees will be just headhunted. That's really the only thing that I would ever be concerned about. I know LeBron James could play tight end and do that. Just nobody. He's so long and so, you know, just high cut waisted. That's where it gets dangerous for those guys, because every safety and linebacker is going to go right at those knees, and that's where it gets dangerous.
But you will have football players. They played basketball in college, and then they come into the NFL. That doesn't happen the other way around, Chris, where somebody plays college basketball or college football, and they go, you know, I'd like to play in the NBA.
No, you're right. It does not. It does not happen. Well, I mean, usually, hey, it's, you know, NBA got some freaky guys, and there's a lot of my dad and I have this conversation a lot. We'll go watch good high school basketball games and see a guy that's, you know, a 6'6" center, you know, in a high school basketball game in New Jersey, right? And he's and then we go and look at each other and go, man, he's blowing it. He'll just be another guy in basketball, but he could be a tight end, or if he decided to put weight on, he'll be an unbelievable left or right tackle in the NFL. He's wasting his time trying to play center in the NBA. You're right. You see that more, I think, on that side than vice versa. Do I think there's like some receivers and DBs and tight ends in the NFL who decided to, like, oh, I want to play NBA basketball? I could do it. I certainly do. You know, I look at Russell Westbrook in the NBA and go, man, if he wanted to play receiver and be one of the best in football back in high school, he could have done that too. So I do think it's the two sports with the most athletic, freaky guys as far as sports are concerned.
How would Shaq have done in the NFL?
I mean, he'd be unbelievable. It's almost like it's inconceivable. I don't even know what to think. Like, he'd be impossible to run around if he was a left tackle. Like, how could you ever get around him? He's got good feet, and even if you think he got the edge, his arms are like 6 feet long. He'd push you by guys. So I guess the biggest thing with him is, could he get down in the three-point stands and react to the quickness and everything of that nature? Like, again, now, Shaq is a really big human, 7'1", right? 330 pounds in his career. Again, that's really big and strong. But let's not forget, in the NBA and the NFL, you got a lot of guys who are 6'4" and 6'5" and 300 pounds and got a lower center of gravity. And I do think we'll be able to push him around maybe more than we think, just because of the way he's built. But, you know, he could probably do it. He's such a freak of nature.
All right. Any concerns if you're a Cowboys fan after what you've seen through the first 3 games?
No, I don't think I got any concerns. It's all positives, I think, at this point right here. You know, the big thing is the defense. It's, of course, they made an unbelievable turnaround under Dan Quinn. They caused turnovers. You know, they're certainly better. But the offense is the story. They're an elite offense. They like you saw last night, they can change the way the other team has to play because they can put such pressure on you on the offensive side of the ball. A lot like the Chiefs or the Bucs or the Rams. It's hard to match up with them. You want to play man-to-man? You're not going to match up with all those receivers and tight end man-to-man. Somebody's going to be a mismatch. And then now we're seeing the run game get going as well. You know, that to me, and a two-headed monster at running back with Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, not a whole lot of concerns. I mean, they're gonna win the NFC East, and they're gonna be in the playoffs. That's for sure.
Yeah, I just wonder about Mike McCarthy. This is back-to-back games now where we you know, does every team have a clock guy to help the head coach, Chris?
Most teams do. Yes, I don't know if I can say to every team, but I would think that most. You know, I know most teams, at least a lot of the head coach friends I'm with, have that guy there to kind of be there, be the guy to look at, you should challenge this. Hey, think about these timeouts here. Yeah, that was a blunder at the end of the first half. I think that's where you're going with this, right? I mean, you know, hey, it's 20-7. Again, you have another chance to put one of the elite units of football on the field in your offense who has not been slowed down at all in the first half, and you could put a team away. I was saying to Florio, bringing this up earlier today. I mean, how many games every week do we look at a game and go, this team's dominating, but they let this team hang around, and now they're going to lose the football game? And to me, yeah, McCarthy's a little bit of a liability with some of that clock management stuff.
3 weeks in, you all in on the Rams?
I'm all in on the Rams. I am 100%. Dan, I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. I did not expect it to look like it does this good this quickly. That's for sure. But yeah, fastest defense in football, really well coached, got studs that can make plays. And like we were just talking about on the offensive side of the ball, with the Cowboys, mismatches all over the football field, Stafford in a real offense with talent around him and a good offensive line. Yes, the Rams are going to be here to stay. They're going to be one of the top teams in football.
What would you say to Chiefs fans?
Ooh, I would say, don't panic. It's 1-2. It could easily be 3-0. I mean, it's mistakes and mistakes by them alone that are costing them football games. I mean, that's really the bottom line. Mahomes no-look pass, stupid. I mean, just throw the ball to the guy. He catches it. He's going to run in for a touchdown. You're going to be up 7-0. Tyreek Hill fumbles the next drive. Clyde Edwards-Helaire fumbles the next drive after that. The 2 blunders at the end of the Monday night game against the Ravens. So they got to, just show teams that they can be patient while teams play these prevent, we're not going to let up big play defenses, and show that they can have the patience to just be surgical, like, let's say, Brady and the Patriots and 20 and, his whole career, where you just go, we can't just sit back and play umbrella defenses. They're going to pick us apart. It's going to be a 10-play, 80-yard drive for a touchdown. They just got to show they can do that. That'll bring some teams up again, and then you'll start to see more big plays down the field with Tyreek and company.
Buccaneers go to New England.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Yeah. Well, the Buccaneers are clearly a class above the New England Patriots right now. And I think New England can be a pain in the butt in the football game and hang around for a little bit. But I just don't know if their offense will be able to keep pace. As good as I think the Patriots defense is, it's a real good defense. The Bucs they're special on that side of the ball. Brady's still got a laser for an arm. They can protect him. And of course, with all the weapons they got, I just have a hard time thinking that, New England's going to be able to, with a rookie quarterback, keep pace and go on 10 plays, 80-yard drives consistently against the Bucs defense. That's the issue with the Patriots right now. There's just no big playmaker. There's nobody that scares you. And, Mac Jones isn't going to execute the offense to the capacity Brady did in his prime or anything like that. So they're kind of finding their way. They haven't run the ball as well. I think they're a pain in the butt because Belichick's going to have a great game plan, but I ultimately think the Bucs win. Touchdown, 10 points, something like that. Chris
Sims, Pro Football Talk Live co-host and analyst on Sunday Night Football. How did we come to the conclusion after 3 games that Ben Roethlisberger's done?
Well, by watching the games, I think that's why.
What did people expect, though?
Well, that's what listen, Dan, I tried to tell people last year, and I got eviscerated by people in Pittsburgh when they were 10-0, and I didn't put Big Ben as one of the 10 best quarterbacks in football. I mean, they eviscerated me. Oh, what an idiot, Sims, hot take, bullcrap. No, just because you're 10-0 doesn't mean your quarterback's one of the 10 best players in football. I mean, come on. And it's been more of a disaster than I would have thought it would have been, Dan. Again, yeah, they haven't been able to run the ball. The protection's been solid, but not bad. And to me, it's just bad decision-making, poor throws, like unrealistic expectations of himself in the pocket that he thinks he's going to pull off magic at times. I'm shocked by how bad it's looked, at the quarterback position there in Pittsburgh.
The situation with Chicago, the Jets, the Jags with these quarterbacks, to me, this just illuminates why you were in the position to be able to take a quarterback, because you're not a good team. Right. And the Bears got Justin Fields a little bit later in the first round than, what the Jets and Jags did. They're still a bad team. Just because he went a little bit later doesn't mean they might have a little better defense, I guess, but that offensive line's not good. Jacksonville's offensive line is not good. And now you're having people saying, hey, you should sit these quarterbacks. They're going to stunt their growth. And like, what changed from the beginning of the year? Everybody wants the new quarterback in there. And I always say, be careful what you ask for, Because,
I
mean, like, what do you think happens in these three situations? Is there any chance Trevor Lawrence maybe sits down for a game? They don't have a legitimate backup for Zach Wilson. And Justin Fields, do you put him out there because the line isn't any good?
Well, listen, if they get broken, these guys, and it's like week 6, and you're like, oh, no, they're overwhelmed, like, then you picked the wrong guy. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, it's starting quarterback in the NFL. They've dealt with some adversity, but I think your point's real. Like, too many people are trying to write the headline already about these guys and their careers, and we're 3 weeks in. Yeah, they're not good teams. The Jets got nothing on offense that scares you. No legit game-breaking receiver. The run game's average at best. Pass protection's been way below average. Just go by the look of what you see of the players. Don't hold them to like Mahomes or Tom Brady or Matthew Stafford standards right now. They're going to make mistakes. Like you said, the support system's not correct. So, yeah, within that, I'm more in just how does it look? Trevor Lawrence made a few plays in the game last week where I went, damn, there's only a few quarterbacks in the game that could make that throw or that play. Yes, I know he had some dumb rookie mistakes that go along with it, but he looks the part. He'll learn how to play and what he can get away with in situational football. And that goes with Zach Wilson too. I mean, again, what do people expect there? There's nothing like you could put Brady and Mahomes on the Jets. They're still going to be 0-3. They're still going to be 0-3. It does not matter. It's not them. So to me, it is just about continuing to give them confidence, protect them. Don't fall in the trap of, oh, we're down. We got to throw it every play now and try to make the game look respectable. No, there's got to be a fine line there of protecting your guy for the future, protecting the organization. But at the end of the day, I like the look of all of the guys. I do, and I am always in favor of playing them, get their lumps. Next year, there'll be a different guy, and there'll be a lot to learn from this year.
Well, they're quarterbacks because of their success that it makes it tougher for those that follow, like Justin Herbert.
Yes, sure.
Justin Herbert looks like a veteran.
Yes. Well, Dan, I would argue, like I always do with everything else, looks like a veteran, but come on, got to take over a team last year that was really a playoff caliber football team that just screwed up every big situation there was possible. Clock management, end of the game, field goals missed, whatever. But, they haven't changed their team around much this offseason other than then they got 2 offensive linemen. That certainly helps out Justin Herbert. But it's still the same roster there. So, yeah, he was fortunate to get in a position where a team with Phillip Rivers and the year before Herbert was drafted underperformed. So they were better than their draft, placement. Mahomes, of course, he got to take over the second-best team in the AFC. And they traded up from 27 to 11 to go get him. And he so he has that benefit. Yeah, some of these other guys don't. And you're right. People just got to put that in perspective a little bit and just calm down. And they'll get the right support around these guys, and you'll see why they're picked number 1 and 2.
And that's what people have to understand, or at least in the back of their mind, keep reminding themselves, because Dak Prescott goes to a Dallas team that had one of the best offensive lines in football.
Right.
Let me start there. We saw when Mahomes had no blocking in the Super Bowl, he was average.
Right.
Tom Brady can be average if you put pressure on him. Every one of these quarterbacks, there's not a quarterback that's played where you go, hey, got a terrible offensive line. We're going to the Super Bowl. Like, it just doesn't happen. And Justin Herbert has a great offensive line. Dak still has an elite offensive line. Drew Brees survived because he had a good offensive line with the Saints.
Right.
Brady always had good protection with the
Right.
Patriots and the Buccaneers. I mean, it's not rocket science. No. That if you have a good offensive line, chances are, if I put Justin Fields on, throw out a team. If I put him in New England instead of Mac Jones, is he more successful? Absolutely, because he has a better offensive line there. But,
100%.
I just think people get caught up in why isn't our guy, the next Mahomes? Mahomes with the Jets, as you point out, they'd still be winless.
Yes, they would. It's just everybody, we've gotten in this era of just quarterback. That's the reason, win or lose, and that's it. And, I know you've heard me say this stuff before, but come on. Yeah, hey, quarterbacks can certainly cover some holes. Oh, the team's not playing their best today, but he's still awesome, so he'll make up for that. That's what a great quarterback does. He doesn't make a crapola team look amazing. That's not possible. You got to have some sort of support system there. And, these are what I always go back to. These are my lines when we get into this. Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl. I think everybody sees now he's not a top 20 quarterback in football. Never was, never will be. They went to the Super Bowl. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl and beat the greatest quarterback of all time. It wasn't because of Nick Foles. The Eagles were really damn good. Peyton Manning on his last leg, 2015 Super Bowl. I mean, come on. It was like, let's just hope Peyton doesn't mess the game up. I mean, that's where we're at. I don't like saying that. He's, arguably the greatest quarterback ever too. But, again, it is about the football team, and we're in this era right now where it's just quarterback. And if we win, it's the quarterback. If we lose, it's the quarterback, and there's just more to it, and it drives me crazy.
All right. Well, I'm glad I got you fired up.
Good.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah. Great to talk to you as always. Thank you, Chris.
You're the man, Dan. Tell all those guys I said hello there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, guys, Chris says hello.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
You jerks.
Hey.
You jerks. That's what I wanted to say.
Hey, you can say that. Yeah.
All right. Hey, you jerks. I'll see you later.
All right. That's Chris Sims. Pro Football Talk Live, co-host NBC Sunday Night Football.